This is Black Writers Read. Good evening, everyone. I actually had a chance today to go good morning, good afternoon, good evening, because I did 3 episodes today of the podcast. Thank you all for joining me today for episode 6 of season 6 of Black Writers Read. My name is Nicole Young-Martin, and I'm the founder, producer, and host of this series. We are at the conclusion of today's celebration for National Black Poetry Day. We have now approached the third and last guest for the special marathon broadcast. I'm especially excited to welcome him to the Black Writers Read platform because today is the official release of his spoken word album, Kiss My Art. It means so much to have him on today to celebrate the release of his album, which is out on Bandcamp, and also to close out today. I'm so glad things happen in the way that they do. So let's go ahead and get started. Black Writers Read celebrates, showcases, and honors the words, work, and traditions of Black writers from across the country, across genres, across experiences, and across the African diaspora. Black Writers Read is a behind-the-scenes conversation into the craft and what it means to create as a Black author in today's society. Since starting this series on Juneteenth of 2020, we've hosted over 90 authors representing over 15 genres from 6 countries and 26 states. Our platform includes live stream interviews, audio podcasts, book clubs, and curriculum integration assistance. Find us online at blackwritersread.com. Today, we welcome Tiriq Rashad. Tiriq Rashad, a proud native of, which I love this, Atlantic-Ville, Atlantic City and Pleasantville, blends his social work background with a gift for storytelling to create work rooted in resilience, authenticity, and healing. Author of A Diamond in God's Dirt and Shine Through Our Shade, An Evolution of Self-Love, his writing has earned praise from readers and icons like who is now our ancestor, Nikki Giovanni, for its powerful reflection of both universal and Black experiences. His now released album, Kiss My Art, is a soul-bearing journey through grief, identity, and creative liberation. Merging spoken word with jazz and hip-hop, the album unfolds like a living memoir. Yo, he is like, this is exactly one of the reasons why I specifically wanted to host Black male poets on National Black Poetry Day. This is the very first time that Black Writers Read is acknowledging the occasion. And hearing Tiriq, because I've been dealing with his bio for a while now, but reading aloud, I was like, oh, he worked in social work. He comes from a caring practice. This is one of the big reasons. Many of the Black male writers that I have had on this podcast come from a tradition of bearing witness and care because of the types of roles that they have in their communities. And at some point, I will be doing a special series, panel, or something to bring together a lot of the Black male writers that I've had on to talk specifically about what they are adding and contributing to the canon and social commentary. For those who are new to Black Writers Read, here's the format of our show. Tiriq will share excerpts from his work, and then we'll chat. If time remains, I will insert questions from the chat, depending. Let's see how the conversation flows. We typically have viewers joining us from platforms Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. If you have a question, please feel free to drop it in the comment section of your platform, and I will be sure to insert it at an appropriate time. I'd now like to welcome Tiriq to the virtual stage. Hi.
Hey, Nicole. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. What an intro, honestly. You killed it.
Thank you. You're in social work. This is going to add an even richer to the, because like I had on earlier educators, a school counselor, and I've had on fathers. And like Black male writers, y'all are doing something extremely special. And I really want to continue pushing your work out there because you are literally fighting against patriarchy and the manosphere, which shapes a very particular identity in mass media for men, especially Black men. So thank you for writing. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Wow, thank you so much for that. That means a lot, and it uplifts me just hearing you say that. So I thank you, and thank Black Writers Read for having me. It's really an honor to be here on Black National Poetry Day. um, I talking to Rodney, he actually introduced it to me, told me about it after talking to you. So thank you so much. And it really is important for everybody to express themselves through creativity, but especially Black men, to really and create and express themselves. So thank you for that intro, and thank you for your a lot.
And thank you so much, Rodney, for making tonight happen. Some Yeah, so I'm going to turn it over to you to share some of your work, and I'll be back to chat. So happy reading.
So I'm Tiriq Rashad again. Thank you, Nicole, for introducing me. From Atlantic City, as she said in the in the intro. Thank you so much for everything. I'm very grateful to just be here today on National Poetry Day. My album "Kiss My Art" is out today, which is another milestone for me in my life. "Kiss My Art" is a heartfelt, transparent body of work that encompasses so much about my journey over the last few years, specifically related to grief, losing my mom, my brother, my daughter, and so many other things. And just being here today to be able to tell my story and knowing that somebody else will relate. It means so much to just be here on this platform to just tell you guys about it and have you guys resonate with it. So thank you so very much again, Nicole, and Black Writers Read. And I look forward to continuing on this conversation. Before we actually dive into the questions, I want to share a piece. It's a tribute to Jupiter Hammond, who is a poet, who was a poet in the 1700s. I actually just learned about him. His birthday is today, so happy birthday to Mr. Jupiter Hammond. He is the first U.S. African American published poet, which again I stumbled across, and it's such a beautiful thing. It was such a beautiful thing for me to stumble across and learn about his work. So I want to share this piece, and then after I share this piece, we can dive into the questions, Nicole. So this poem is entitled, and I just wrote this probably like an hour ago, It's been a crazy week, crazy time, just trying to put everything together. So bear with me as I read it. It's entitled "From His Candle We Write." They said a man like him wasn't meant to read between the lines, but he did over time. He found freedom in the spaces between scripture and pieces inside the pain, even when it rained. He found salvation in spite of whips and chains, and when the world tried to silence his thoughts and his voice, he whispered to God and called it poetry. I imagine him, ink stained, soul heavy, writing light into the dark, but in part, his fate wasn't theory, it was survival. It was knowing chains can't hold spirit when the spirit is already free. And I think about that, standing here or sitting here. Me, with an album that breathes my heart, soul, and experiences, a Grammy considered body of work because I allowed my heart to speak, my love, my pain, my joy, my story. My journey took me to a TEDx stage, wrote books, spoken to rooms I truly never even dreamed about. Here in this very moment, feeling blessed because the homie has me where I need to be. And nobody matter where and no matter where I go, my heart still beats poetry, even when the world gets too loud, because I know what it means to build from broken, to rise when the odds are laughing in your face, to still speak beauty in the language of bruises. Mr. Hammond, who wrote Salvation in ink, I write survival in rhythm. Different century, same spirit, different chains, same fight. You lit your candle on the plantation. I light mine in a world that still forgets where we came from. And still, a light will always flicker in darkness. Not enough smoke can drown the divine. Not enough storm can quiet the spark. Not enough world can erase what was meant to shine. Because what you began with a pen, I continue with a mic and a pen. And every word and verse I write and speak is another flame passed from your hands to mine. Thank you.
What, you just wrote that?
Within like the last hour or two. Absolutely. Absolutely.
What?
Yeah. That's why I stumbled a little bit, but yeah.
That was amazing.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
And now hearing about the amount of loss you've experienced, it now makes me go, okay, I understand his work even more now. Which something else we have in common, because my parents, they passed in like the 2010s, 2 years apart from each other. I produced my spoken word album as a way to channel my grief.
It's an outlet, right? It's therapy. You know, I healed in the process, and I'm continuing to heal as I do interviews, as I talk about these things. Grief is forever, so healing is forever, but it's how you grieve and it's how you heal. So I'm carrying it with me. I'm carrying my lost ones with me. They're my angels. So again, it's just how you carry it. With me creating this body of work, it was important for me to release, and tell my story. And as you just said, and as I know, grief is universal. We all grieve. We all lose someone. So it's a matter of telling the story and knowing that it's going to resonate with somebody else and encourage them and remind them that they're not alone and we're all in this together to continue to live our lives and find ways to push forward and love ourselves in the process. Grief can put you in really, really dark places. And it's important for us to love ourselves, embrace the hardships as well as the blessings. You know what I mean? The hardships are difficult and we don't want, but it's the inevitable, and we have to figure it out, figure life out in spite of those things. So I think the answer to that is taking care of yourself along the way, no matter how that looks. Go to the gym. Write, create, whatever. Just take care of yourself along the way. Make sure your mental is good. We can lose ourselves in grief, in life in general. We can lose ourselves with all of the challenges and hardships out here. So just making sure your mind is intact, your spirit is good, and just finding ways to smile every day. Yeah.
So I would love to start the first question of our conversation with, what is the origin story of Kiss My Art? Why that title and why now?
Well, I mean, just to piggyback off what I said, it's important for me to tell my story. My mom passed away a few years ago, 2021. So I'm still grieving it. It's still fresh. Like I said, grief is forever. So this is actually I don't want to say first time, but I haven't spoken so much about all of these things until now. So as I mentioned before, it's healing me as I continue to talk about these things. So it's like right on time. It's healing my spirit, and it's uplifting me and pushing me forward. You know what I mean? The origin of the title, Kiss My Art, is embracing my art being my life. You know what I mean? Embracing life, embracing hardships, and loving my life the way it is. You know what I mean? And I've lost so much, but I have so much more. You know what I mean? And just loving on who I have and what I have, down to my core, means everything to me, and it's going to allow me to continue to propel and move forward. You know what I mean? So, yeah, the Kiss My Art title is grounded in my life. You know what I mean? It's grounded in my life. It's play on words, obviously, art being life, but also art being creativity and loving it. Loving life, loving art, loving creativity, loving the process of life and how it unravels in all of these wild, crazy ways. You know, just loving it, embracing it, and figuring it out, as best as we could.
Thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
When did you first discover that your words and message were best delivered through spoken word and poetry? And how has your work evolved over time?
Mm. So I discovered, so I always wrote, right? I was writing since I was little, but nothing too crazy. I think I said this in a previous interview. Like when I was little, I used to have like little heartbreaks from girls and just writing little notes down and stuff like that. And just a lot of my emotions that I have as a kid, especially as a boy, a young boy, and growing up and being taught like don't stop crying and don't do this and don't do that. So instead of bottling my emotions up and bottling my feelings up, I just grabbed the journal and I would just write. But as I got older and stuff like that, I think it was in when I went away to St. Croix. When I went to St. Croix, when I graduated from my undergraduate studies, I graduated a few months before commencement, and it was a gap between the commencement. So I went with my friend, now brother, to St. Croix. He had family, and we went out there, and it was kind of like a trip to Mecca, like Malcolm X did, just finding ourselves, trying to figure ourselves out. And while I was out there, I started figuring out a lot about myself, reading and writing and creating. And that's when I was just like, oh, this is it. You know what I mean? This is it. And I started writing really started writing my poetry then and really creating. And that's when I kind of found out, this is what I should be doing. And then I got away from it. When I came back from St. Croix. I got back into the swing of things in life and everything, because that was the time where I was taking care of myself. I went to St. Croix to take care of myself and really like hone in on who I am and find out who I am as a person, as a man, what my goals are, what my future is going to look like, et cetera, et cetera. And I was there for about 2 months. And when I came back, it was like, all right, now I got to do this, I got to do that. And I kind of was, when I got back, I kind of forgot all of the things that I was learning. And then, make a long story short, I got into grad school, got accepted to grad school. I wound up graduating from grad school 2 years. And then after that, I was trying to look for employment. Social work field is tough, man. I'm trying to make money, things like that. And I wound up getting this big offer in New York. It was a really big offer at the time, and it was a job that I accepted and everything. And then a week before I was supposed to start, I tore my Achilles, and I could not take the job. So I went through that whole entire process of interviewing and wowing them, and getting the job, and then I couldn't take it because the job required me to drive around all of the boroughs in New York and do all of these things. And my dumb self went to go play basketball and pop my Achilles. So I couldn't take the job there. So I'm like, damn, like what? And from there I was hurt, devastated, crying, let my emotions out, and they brought me back to my writing. And I wrote my first book, which was my autobiography about my life. So like there has been a trend. I go through different things in my life, and it motivates me to create, which is beautiful, right? But I want to get out of that space. I don't want to have to go through nothing to write. You know what I mean? But beautiful things do come from, dark times and stuff like that. So that's when I realized that it was time for me to really start like diving into my creativity and writing, because I created my own little book tour. I went to DC. I was at Buzz Boys and Poets in DC, and
Nice.
yeah, I was really like getting out there and stuff like that. So that's when I really knew. I was like, okay, it was people at Buzz Boys and Poets I didn't even know. I was talking to them like a meet and greet afterwards, and I was like, how'd y'all find out I was here? And it was like, oh, it's DC. So, they all in the mix. So they found out and they came and they loved it and they started following me on IG and social media. It was super cool. And that's when I kind of knew, like, yeah, this is it. And I developed and, matured with my creativity, my poetry, my writing over the years. So,
Yeah, and DC, which eventually I want to do a tour, either documentary or oral history series, where I go to the different like writing communities, because there's a very unique poetry community in DC,
absolutely,
in Baltimore, and various places in Virginia, and I really want to have the conversation about poetry in place. Yeah,
that would be super cool, especially like you said, in that community is it's grounded in poetry. It really is.
And I love how you mentioned like writing from a hard place and what you can generate in that. Because for me, like literally, like I was writing some of my best stuff when I was out there dating, and I was dating some hot mess. That's actually how the spoken word album came up. Hot messes,
going through all this pain.
right? Going through all this pain, and then all of a sudden, I met my now husband, and I was like, I ended up not writing anything for years. I was like, you took my muse. Like, what?
You know who I'm thinking about I'm thinking of Mary J. Blige right now.
Yes,
that's what I'm thinking about. I'm like, she writes some beautiful work when she's going through pain, and people on the internet joking like, I need her to be in pain so I can hear some. I can hear some good music. I'm like, damn, what you wanted to have? Like, what? You wanted to have a heartbreak so she can. So that's why I said at the beginning, I don't want to. I don't want that. You know what I mean? So, yeah. But my album, Kiss My Art, it has everything on there, from obviously my grief, but also the highs in my life as well, and enjoying my life with my kids and smiling through all of the pain and enjoying life, and letting people know I'm special because of my mother and how she's raised me. And it's just a lot of beautiful, beautiful, beautiful work on my album that I'm truly excited for people to hear and listen to. So it's not just pain.
Yes, it's not just.
It's blessings too. It's blessings too. But after the pain comes the blessings, right? So
yes.
Yeah.
Your writing explores themes pertaining to identity, grief, and creative liberation. I had an opportunity to watch the video for No Regrets from Kiss My Art, which is on YouTube. This is a long question. Sorry, the academic in me coming out with a long question.
Do your thing.
Yes, a long question. This particular piece demonstrates how these themes emerge in your work. This piece is especially vulnerable and visceral. I love that your work is available in multiple forms, creating access points for various audiences. People who like to read poetry, they can buy your books. People who like to listen to poetry can now buy your spoken word album. People who like neo soul, as I recognize so many idioms from the genre and No Regrets and so many of our other work. And people who like to watch performance. Why is it important to you, especially as a Black man who is also a father? I didn't know that part. To make your work so accessible and available in so many different ways.
So, summarize the end of the question. Ask me the question again. I'm sorry. That's cool. I was gonna put that in the thing. So
I found it. I found it for you.
I was just looking. I was just about to put it, so I was gonna put it in the chat. Thank you. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good. No, this always the academic in me. This always happens. So essentially, I love that your work is available in multiple forms, creating access and entry points for various audiences. So people can read your poetry, people can listen to it. also too, people who like neo soul,
Yes.
which is not only music, it's a way of living.
It's a feeling,
It's a
emotion,
feeling.
connection.
Can also connect, and then also people can watch you perform.
Yeah.
So why is it important to you, especially as a Black man, to make your work so accessible and available?
Because the emotion part, I want people to, music and art is connection, right? Regardless of the genre, but for me specifically, I want to be able to connect with people. I want my work to resonate with people. I want to learn more about people as well, because I have a story, but there are so many other people with stories in the world, obviously. But for me, I don't want to say other people don't have the courage to tell their story, but I have the courage to tell my story, and I'm hoping that I motivate or inspire the next person to tell their story, or I'll tell their story for them through my journey. You know what I mean? But just the human connection, that's super important for me. Just being able to connect with people through this art form. I love connecting with people. I love talking to people about the journey of life and everything in general. When you tell your story and you listen to other people's story, you never know. You just never know how similar people's stories are in the world. You know what I mean? So just that connection piece means everything to me, and being able to release those emotions, and um, again, I don't want to be a person that bottles my emotions up or in. You know what I mean? And there's so many people that do that. So, I want to encourage other people through this art form to, let it out, express yourself. You talked about neo soul. Neo soul is about expression. Expression. Poetry is expression, getting it out. Regardless if it was a heartbreak, from a boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, or heartbreak through grief, or whatever it is. It's just a matter of expression. You know what I mean? So, yes.
Yeah, and speaking of, and this is a newer question
Mm-hmm.
because of the loss that the culture got this week. D'Angelo.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
He took breaks in between big works, but now we know why, because
Yeah,
he was sick. But the
I
things
just
that
saw
he,
that too. I just
yeah.
saw that too. I just saw that.
Oh,
I
good.
think he was supposed. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I
No,
think
go
he was
ahead.
supposed to go on a tour, and I think he was supposed to perform somewhere, and somebody stepped in for him, and kind of found out they stepped in for him because he was sick, but no one didn't know that until just now, and I'm just like, damn. And then I saw this list of, and I'm sure you saw it too, this list of all of the Black artists, like the men, passed away at a certain age from sickness and things like that, and it tugged at my heart a little bit, to be honest, because I'm like, I don't, that's why, again, it's a matter of taking care of ourselves along the way. And we have families and stuff. We have to make sure we're taking care of ourselves. And that's no knock to anybody, obviously.
Oh yeah.
It's just an example for us to, take care of ourselves and do better for ourselves so that we can live as long as we, can. Um, but yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just going
Oh
off on
no,
a tangent
no,
because it made me think of it, and it really did
yeah.
tug at my heart. As
Yeah.
far as just losing him and thinking of all of the other people, entertainers, Black entertainers that we lost at such a young age. Like we was robbed. We was robbed of so many more beautiful years they could have given us. So.
Yeah. And with that in mind, one of the things, and this segues, I think, really nicely into a question that
Mm-hmm.
I posed, but I'm changing the wording a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
D'Angelo was extremely intentional,
Mm-hmm.
like with his collaborations, like even thinking about like how different Brown Sugar was from Voodoo from like when he worked with the Vanguard and the Black Messiah.
Mm-hmm.
So specific his collaborations. And also he was very intentional, like when he gigged in concerts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then of course this collaboration with Angie Stone, which I knew they were partners, but I didn't realize they worked together as
Yeah.
well.
You didn't know it was that deep.
I didn't know it was that deep. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
that makes a lot of sense now.
Yep.
So your work, especially to be able to do the magnitude, like the No Regrets video, is so beautifully shot and just, oh my God.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Can you talk about, and then also your relationship with Rodney, can you talk about like the people that you collaborate with and help you to do your work?
So, as I was just telling you with my story, just all of my past experiences and everything, like I was doing all of that like by myself. And that was difficult, and it was a lot of trial and error and just kind of figuring it out. And I would just be like, all right, I'll just live with the results. I need to do this. I need to get it out. And I'm at a point in my life now where I'm like, I need a team. And I'm realizing that it truly, truly does take a team. And having a videographer and Yago, shout out to Yago, who helped me help bring my vision to life with my video and no regrets. It was such a beautiful time, and it was so refreshing for me to be able to stumble across him, and have someone of a like mind as far as just being motivated to, oh, let's do this, let's do that. Like we were locked in, as I said earlier, we were really locked in as far as just trying to create something special. You know what I mean? And the same with Rodney, just having somebody just as motivated as you, it means everything. You can't have, I mean, as far as my experiences, I couldn't have somebody where I'm super motivated. Oh, I want to do this, I want to do that. And I know the person that I'm talking with or talking to is talented, but they're just like, yeah, they don't have that same enthusiasm or it doesn't work. You know what I mean? So having a team, it means everything. And I'm so very grateful that I stumbled across Rodney, that I stumbled across Yago and the video and the other videographers and photographers I stumbled across. God's time. That's all I can say. God's time, God's timing for me in my life and where I'm at and where I'm headed, to be honest. But having a team means the absolute world for everyone, but specifically for me right now, it means everything to me. So yeah, a team will help you to go far. And having a team is why I'm here right now. So
Yeah.
shout out to Rodney.
Yes, because this is a great opportunity to shout out my associate producer, Candace De Leon, who I've known since we were at Wayne State together. She was undergraduate theater, I was grad theater. Wow. And then I want to shout out my book coach, Lisa Pegram. Like, a team is so important because I'm working on several projects and she's helping me with my memoir. Like Lisa, and she's been on the podcast and she's helped book a lot of people because she's a publicist, amazing editor and all these things. She's based in St. Martin. I told her, and this is my first time publicly acknowledging this, but these are the types of people you need on your team. I told Lisa, and she's a Black woman, so she got this. I was like,
she got this.
Yes. I was like, Lisa, I trust you with so much. I am willing to be out in the woods with you in the dark. We ain't got no flashlight, no like fire or none. And you hear a noise and you going to be like, let's go to that noise. And I'm going to say, okay, I'm not going to run. I'm going to go to the noise with you.
Yes. It's the trust factor. Absolutely. That's the trust factor. And when you get to that point, it's worth it. You know what I mean? You chose the right person to be around and collaborate and team up with. So yeah, it's special. It's special. Having those special bonds and relationship means everything. Yeah. It really does. So shout out to my team. Yeah. And my team also is my family, man. My family keeps me grounded. That's my team, my family. They keep me motivated. They keep me going. They give me life. You know what I mean? So shout out to my family. That is my team. Absolutely.
That's so awesome.
Yes.
How many kids do you have?
3. I have a 4-year-old, a 3-year-old next week, and a 7-month. Well, she'll be 7 months tomorrow. Yeah.
Oh, they're little. They're still in the everything I do is
crazy.
Cute.
They crazy.
Yes.
It's no yes. No, it's their blessings though. It's they keep me on my toes. They keep me motivated. Yeah.
Oh, like they're at the cute stage because I have a stepdaughter. She's an adult, and my brother lives with me, and it's like and I'm childless, like on purpose. But it's like my friends. I'm like the TT. I'm the auntie, and their kids are little, and I will like play with them and get them riled up,
Mm-hmm.
and then I send them home to their parents. Like, hey,
That's
y'all,
not right. That's not right.
let's
That's not right.
They're like, we're going out with TT Coco. Hey.
That's funny.
Yes. So I have a couple more questions for you. So
Yes, ma'am.
your work includes spoken word and poetry, which for me are very distinctly different.
Mm-hmm.
So for you, what are some differences between the two, and what are some unique advantages and challenges of each?
I think they're interconnected. You know what I mean? But I also do think they are different. I think spoken word is more performative. You know what I mean? I think it's more performative. Whereas though poetry is more they're both very similar though. But again, for spoken word is more performative, and you know, you got melodies and things like that with it as well, and you can say a poem on a beat, similar to me and so many other artists, and then poetry itself, you can do the same thing, but it's just a different feel. It's a different vibe. You know what I mean? Overall, for me, it's just a different vibe. So, and as far as them being similar, again, they're intertwined so beautifully. You know what I mean? Because you can put a poem together, and it can sound like poetry and spoken word together. You know what I mean? So that's the beautiful thing about this art form. You know what I mean? I just love poetry. I love spoken word. I started off just writing poetry. I'm a poet at heart, but I'm a spoken word artist. So
Yeah.
it's a reason why people say poet and spoken word artist. It's a difference. They don't just say, oh, spoken word artist. They say, oh, I'm a poet and spoken word, or vice versa. So
Yeah.
there's many similarities, there's many differences, but for me, I do look at them as very similar. Just performance wise, delivery too.
Yes.
You know, and that's more of the performance part with spoken word. You know, when you're performing it, and how you're delivering it. You know, how I've always looked at it is like spoken word is more like dynamic, like right there, I'm here. Whereas though poetry is more like more mellow, more chill. You know what I mean? It's like a vibe, a feeling, an emotion.
Yes.
Yeah, I love it. So yeah.
Yeah, and thank you for being limitless with that, because I'm in the professor space a lot. There's always this, well, spoken word does this, and poetry does this,
Yeah.
and it can't be did that. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, can we stop? Like, can we stop? Like, no.
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
differences, there are similarities, but you know, overall, they're both beautiful art forms.
Yeah. And I'm also like, don't do that, because in many cultures, spoken word and poetry
Mm-hmm.
are like legit, like twins. They're married to
Yes.
one another. They're
Yes.
companions.
Yes. That's a great way to put it. They're twins.
Yeah. They're
They're
twins.
not identical. Or maybe they're identical twins.
Yes.
Yeah. Different personalities. That's a great way. I love that. Different personalities. Yeah. They're twins. I like that.
Yes. I love that. So I'm about to ask you probably the hardest question of the night. And I asked this to my guest earlier today, and he was stumped. So, which is your favorite poem from Kiss My Art, and why?
Oh gosh.
Yes.
Each song, poem, track has a meaning. Everything I write is meaningful. But this body of work is just so very special, so encouraging, so uplifting, so heartfelt, so honest, so emotional. Right off the top, I'll just say I'm special. There's a song track on my album called "I'm Special," and it talks about me feeling special, feeling like I'm special based upon my mom's grooming of me over the years. And I don't shine as bright as I do today without her grace, without her love, without anything. And it's just, yeah, I would say that I'm special. It's a beautiful, beautiful song. And I'm sure it'll change, but that's my song. That's my favorite one right off the top. Special. No regrets. But you know when you hear a song over and over and over, it's like, all right, on to the next. Like it's a little different for me because you know the importance of them and the significance of them in my life and stuff like that. But and obviously no regrets means everything to me, but every song means everything to me on my album. But I'm special. If I was to choose one right now, it would be I'm special. Instead, I'm special. I got the devil on my back. He tried to test you. No matter where you go, there'll always be a level. God protects you. That's why I revel. I wear a badge of honor. I'm in God's meadows. And then I jump into the poetry. Oh, it's beautiful. I love it. I love it. You'll love it. You're gonna love it when you listen to it. Yeah, that's my
there was
favorite.
the neo soul again. Told you.
Yeah. That's my. I gotta do the snap. That's my that's my favorite one. It really is.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a special track.
Nice. I can't wait to listen to it because as you were speaking, and I was like, the neo soul. I hear like a guitar softly playing in the back. I was like, yeah.
Yep. And this is why I'm so excited for it to be out here and now tours and getting on stages and performing and stuff like that. I'm so very excited to like really perform it. And that's going to be even more healing for me, to be honest. So I just can't wait. You know, I'm super excited for the future. And I think I mentioned I mentioned some of it in the poem that I shared, as the tribute poem that I shared, that my EP, which was the prelude to this album, it was called When the Heart Speaks. It's Grammy considered right now. So yeah, it's Grammy considered right now. So big stuff. So I'm praying and hoping that I get the nomination. And once I get the nomination, God willing, we on to some whole different, bigger other opportunities. So I'm praying and hoping that that happens, God willing. But yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
So this leads so nicely into the second to last question. Prior to having our guests on Black Writers Read, we ask each of them why they write. Here's what you offered. I write to make sense of the world and to heal. My words give voice to the emotions we're often told to hide. Grief, joy, rage, hope. Being an author poet now is both a responsibility and a gift to tell real stories that reflect real lives. Sharing my work builds bridges and reminds people they're not alone. In a fast-moving world, writing is my way of slowing down and leaving something honest behind.
Absolutely.
What would you like your legacy to be?
My legacy are my children. Simply put, my legacy are my children. All of these things that I'm doing, all of the things that I accomplished, they're obviously beautiful things, but my legacy are my children. I have to make sure that I am setting an example for them. I have two boys, two Black boys, you know what I mean? And it's important for them to learn how to navigate life through hardships because, again, hardships are inevitable, right? And they have to figure out how to persevere through those hardships, those challenges, those strifes, and everything else. And also they have to learn how to love themselves along the way and take care of themselves. So it's important for me to be the example. And for my daughter, I mean, it kind of goes without saying, you know,
yes,
I have to be the example and be a good person to my wife, her mom, you know, and for my boys as well, and just show them that, you know, there are good Black men in the world. There are good men that are trying to figure life out. And there are men that express themselves and take care of themselves and things like that. So to answer your question again, my kids are my legacy. Simply put, it's all of the accomplishments and it's beautiful. And they obviously, you know, they will bring me so many beautiful opportunities and stuff like that, but it's all for me to build this kingdom for my children to have and build upon, for their children to be their legacy, and so far so on. So my children are my legacy.
which I want to give a shout out to Black Father so badly. Actually, right before we came on, I was watching one of Kev on Stage's like latest post,
Mm-hmm.
and I love watching him with his children. It feels
Yeah.
like his children grew up with all of us, and just seeing, yes, he's goofy with his kids and stuff like that, but just the admiration, respect, and love that they have for one another is just
Mm-hmm.
so special. And I'm like, but also I look at Black fatherhood differently
Yeah.
because my dad was kick ass. Like
Mm-hmm.
he was such an amazing man. And I'm still a daddy's girl. Like
Mm-hmm.
every time, because I'm still close with a lot of my father's friends.
Yeah.
And they were like, your dad was so proud of you and all this stuff. He literally was the one. Like I remember when I graduated from undergrad, that next morning he had to go to work. And he was like, put your Letterman jacket on, grab your cap. And I was like, oh, why? And of course, he paraded me around work. And then when I got my first graduate degree, put your cap and gown on. Oh,
Yeah.
why? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
but then now losing him, like
Mm-hmm.
I now see like why that pride was there, because I remember, and I'm happy that your children are your legacy, because for
Mm-hmm.
me, I'm somebody who was very fortunate that before my father passed, he literally was able to say, I am so proud of you.
Mm-hmm.
Like
You
you
heard the
really,
words. Yeah.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm so glad that you're able to have this experience with your children. I'm so glad that they're also so young that they
Yeah.
can really, really absorb that.
And absolutely, I thank you for saying that. And that's why it's important for me, and I know for other people as well, but that's why it's important for me to take care of myself.
Yeah.
I have to take care of myself. I wanted these kids.
Yes.
And I want to be there with them for as long as I'm able to, you know what I mean? So in order for me to do that, I got to take care of myself mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. And also the kids absorb everything.
They
So
do.
I got to make sure I'm good. I got to make sure that I'm straight and doing what I need to do because they watching, even when we think they're not watching. So, yeah.
Exactly. You gonna be that great grandpa on your porch at 90 years old. Get off my lawn. That's what you're working towards.
Grandfather is crazy.
Yes. Be like, oh, grandpa, that you do something crazy. Oh, that's just him. Like we know he 90 years old, but that's just him. Like that, we accepted it.
He always been like that. Don't worry.
Yes. And I'd like to close this out with, what is next for you on top of the tour? And how can the Black Writers Read community support you on this journey?
I'm just trying to get the album out there more, honestly. Today is only the first day, so the work really, really starts now. But just getting the album out there now. Um, Thank you for the pop up. But I'm independent, so the independent grind is real. It's a real thing. So just trying to get the album out there and have people listen to it. I know I'm very confident in the things that I create. Because it's not for me. It's for me, but it's for everyone. You know what I mean? And I know other people are going to connect. I know they're going to resonate with it, but you gotta hear it to resonate with you for it to resonate with you. So I just need help getting the music out there, getting this art out there, for you all to like really like be in awe about and resonate with and continue to follow me along my journey because I have so many other things that I want to do that I'm going to do. Again, God willing, this Grammy nomination I get, so I can be on an even bigger stage and just continue to tell stories and experiences, not just of me, but of other people. I'm an artist by nature. I create. Art is my therapy, but it's also my love. I love to write. I love to create. And I'm in a groove right now. I'm in a real nice groove right now. I'm in a really good groove right now, and I'm so very excited to and thankful that I'm able to share this joy of showing other people that even though you grieve and although you go through these hardships, there is, as cliche as it sounds, light at the end of the tunnel. You know what I mean? And you got to keep pushing. You got to keep going. Aside from having family and everything like that, you got to take care of yourself so that you can get to that light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
And also that light shines through you. You know what I mean? So you got to turn that light on inside so that then that will bring up so many more opportunities, blessings for yourself and things like that. So I'm just excited. I'm in a really good space right now in my life, and I'm just thankful for all of these opportunities, these platforms to be able to talk to you guys and ladies. And yeah, I'm just excited. I just need help. Help me get this music out there. Yes. Kiss My Art. It's a very special piece of work. So yes.
So Tiriq, thank you so much for being on this evening. Congratulations on the release of Kiss My Art. I'm looking forward to your Grammy Award winning speech. It will come at some point in your career. I always manifest. I'm like, yes, you know, following the steps of Jill Scott. Like, I'm just saying.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much. Thank you, Black Writers Read. Thank you, Nicole. I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I'll be watching it now. I remember when he was on my podcast. And now I'm watching an interview with him that's like he holding the Grammy Award on the red carpet. I remember.
It wasn't even just to talk about it. It wasn't even I never thought of winning a Grammy. And I never, not in 1,000 years, it never even crossed my mind. You know what I mean? And when I created this album, it just out of nowhere it came in my mind. And I was at the studio with my producer, he's the executive producer of my album. Shout out to Akeem. He's actually a Grammy nominated producer. He produced for Estelle and Mary J and a lot of big artists and stuff. So that's a whole nother story. But just being in the studio producing with him and listening to it and listening to my art in this album, this body of work, and I'm like, yeah, Dunk. We call him Dunk. Yeah, this is gonna. I want this to be Grammy nominated. This sounds like it's Grammy nominated, bro. He was like, let's do it. And it just kind of came out of nowhere. But that's how I felt. I felt it in my spirit. And I wasn't 10, 11, 12, a teenager thinking about winning a Grammy. Even in my 20s, I never thought of that. It just kind of came out of nowhere. So I feel like it's Grammy nominated worthy. So again, God willing.
Yeah. And thank you for dreaming big.
Absolutely. I always dream big. That's the thing about me as well. Like I always dream big. And I don't care about losing or not winning or whatever you want to call it. I put myself out there because I believe in my art. I believe in myself. I believe in the things that I create and do. So I live with the results no matter what. So it doesn't matter to me. I'm very confident in who I am and my purpose. So, yeah.
Nice. Yes. So Tariq, thank you so much for being on tonight. I'm going to take you off to close us out, and then I want to touch base just quickly before we officially wrap up.
Thank you again, Black Writers Read, and thank you, Nicole. I know you said something about questions too. I didn't know if you wanted to do that.
I was monitoring on the chat, and no one actually posed questions because everybody was just so attentively listening.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, everybody who's watching and listening too. I appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you all so much for joining us for episode 6 of season 6 and this special marathon broadcast for National Black Poetry Day. Please join me on Sunday, October 19th at 12 p.m. Eastern Time for my conversation with poet Dorissa Smith Silva, who'll be joining me from Puerto Rico. Support Black Writers Read by subscribing to my YouTube channel, where many of you are joining us from today, or the audio podcast, which is available on Apple Podcasts, iHeart, Spotify, and Amazon Music. And while you are there, please drop a review, as not only does it help me curate the series and just know how I'm doing, but it also helps the algorithms and for people to find me. I am also on Patreon under Black Writers Read. By supporting us in these various ways, you're helping to sustain a platform which is independently produced and self-funded. Visit blackwritersread.com to learn about the podcast. Thank you all for joining us today, and more importantly, for ensuring that Black authors continue to matter. I will see you on Sunday.